in the word. Don't go out to camp and you scared. Put up my friends, get fly like a bird. We keep the commandments, don't know what you heard. Pull out them scripts like I'm a director. I stay with my sword, I'm ready whenever. It's the end of the world.
Best question you could have asked, bro, because that's the main reason why we out here, is to teach our people who we are in the Bible. So tell me something, are you familiar with the Bible at all?
Hear so.
You ever heard of Moses?
Heard of Moses.
What did Moses do?
He split the sea, supposedly.
Split the Red Sea. He led the children of Israel out of Egypt. He told Pharaoh, let my people go, right? So what were they doing for him to have to go tell Pharaoh, let my people go? Why did he tell Pharaoh that? What were the people doing?
They were enslaved.
They were slaves. That's exactly right. So Moses told Pharaoh, let my people go, because in Egypt they were slaves, right? So now check this out. When they walked out of Egypt, like you said, and they parted the Red Sea and all of that, when they got to the other side, this is what you remember Moses went up and got the commandments from God and came back down. So in the process of all that, this is what Moses told the people. Deuteronomy 28:15. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So Moses told the Israelites, mind you, this is who he talking to, the children of Israel. He said, if you don't keep the commandments of God, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come up on thee and overtake thee.
Moses said, curses is going to come up on y'all if y'all don't keep the commandments. Is a curse a good or a bad thing? Bad. If I put a curse on you, that's bad. If God put a curse on you, you out of there, right? So watch this. He said these curses going to come up on you if you don't keep the commandments. Listen what he said about these curses that let us know they're only about a specific group of people. Verse 46.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46. And they,
he says, and they, these curses are what?
Shall be upon thee for a sign.
What does a sign do? Shows you something, right? So Moses, it's an identifying marker. So Moses said the curse is going to be up on the Israelites for a sign, meaning we're going to be able to look at these curses and identify who they are. Because watch this, read on.
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And it's going to be up on your children forever.
Bring it out.
Forever still going today, right? So he said these curses are going to be on the Israelites forever. Because there's some people over there in Israel right now that say they the Jews, right? Remember, you know, they bombing Gaza, killing the Palestinians and all of that stuff, right? But we're gonna, for them to say that they're the Jews, they would have to fit these curses, right? Because Moses said these curses was gonna be up on the Israelites. So let's see who fit these curses today. Because they said they was gonna be on them forever. Verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Look, Moses told the Israelites, cursed are you going to be in the city. When you go to any city in America, better yet on the planet Earth,
right,
and you go to the hood, the ghetto, the barrio, whatever you want to call it, the bad parts of the city, what race of people predominantly live there?
Black.
And who else?
Hispanic.
And Hispanics.
Right.
Blacks and Hispanics pretty much populate the hood all over the earth. When you go to the hood in New York, who live there? When you go to the hood in Chicago, who live there? When you go to the hood in Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, wherever you go, that's pretty much who there, right? So, but mind you, Moses is talking to the Israelites and said, this is where y'all gonna be in the future. Read on.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
He said, and cursed are you gonna be in the field. Watch your feet. Watch this right here, look. Who was in the field for over 500 years picking cotton, getting their backs beat out? Huh? Who did that happen to? The so-called black man, right? Okay, I mean, let's not be afraid to talk, bro. We brothers. You know what I'm saying? Look, you ever heard of Christopher Columbus? Whenever he came over here in 1492 and he went through the Hispaniola and he conquered the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, and so forth and so on, that's your people, right? Huh? So you didn't know the history that the so-called Hispanics descend from those people? Huh? Yeah, history is a lie. The fact that they told you that you're a Mexican.
Right.
That's the lie. You know what I'm saying? Mexican mean mixed people. The fact that they told you that you're Hispanic, that's the lie. Hispanic means property or belonging to Spain. And at one point in time, yes, you were Hispanic because the Spaniards conquered your people. You see that? But what we finna show you is something totally different. We're about to expose the lie to the truth. So Christopher Columbus, he conquered the Aztecs and Mayans, and he put a lot of them in slavery. So that's when the Bible says, cursed shall you be in the field. Also, today, when you go out to the agricultural parts of the country, who's out there in them fields in Florida picking oranges and peaches and watermelons and so forth and so on? Mexicans, right? You know what I'm saying? Who's the first fired and last hired in the work field? That's us, right? So this is what God is talking about. Verse 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said your sons and your daughters gonna be given to another race of people. And it's talking about slavery, and I'm gonna show you how we know. Watch this, read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Because he said you just gonna be crying all day long when it happened. Fast forward to today. When you go to the border down there right now with ICE, what they doing to them little kids down at that border? They got them in cages, right? You know what I'm saying? What you think they mamas and parents doing? Crying about their kids, right? But watch this, read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
But he said it ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it. Is it anything we can do? Can we go down there and bust them cages open and get them kids out of there? You know what I'm saying? When they had us in slavery, tying us up to trees and hanging us in nooses and spearing us through, was it anything we can do about it? No. You see that? But God is talking to the Israelites. He said these things are gonna happen to y'all. Right? Watch this. Read verse 48.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy.
He said, because y'all don't want to serve me and keep my commandments, you're going to have to serve your enemies. Watch this. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In hunger. Meaning when you want food, you're going to have to go to your enemies. When we want food, who we got to go get it from? Huh? Who?
McDonald's corporation.
Who own the corporations? Because this is talking about different races of people. Because the Israelites are a race.
Right.
They're a race of people. He said you're going to have to go to another race, which is your enemies, to get food. Who do we have to get food from today?
We're talking about colors.
Huh?
Are we talking about colors?
I mean, the race of people, whatever you want to call them.
The whites, the Jews.
Right, there you go. They both white. Jews and the so-called Jewish anyway. You know what I'm saying? And the so-called Caucasian, they both white. You know what I'm saying? But not just them either. The Arabs. You know what I'm saying? Look, who own all the hotels in Odessa?
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? Look, when you go to, when our women have to go to like T-Mart and all that type of stuff to get that weave and all that, who own it? Chinese man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't think I'm just talking about the white people. You know what I'm saying? But
I know that.
But watch this. I'm finna show you. Watch. He said for food
and in thirst.
In thirst, when you want water, who do we pay the water bill to? You know what I'm saying? Guess what? rain fall out the sky for free. And they'll give you a ticket if they catch you collecting rainwater. You see that? Watch this, read on.
And in nakedness.
You want clothing. Who we get our clothes from? Our people out here killing each other for Gucci and Louis and Balenciaga and Steve McQueen and all. Who own all of that? Is that making our people rich?
We don't own nothing.
We don't own nothing.
Right.
You said it right. You know what I'm saying? Watch this, read.
And in one of all things.
He said in one of all things. You know what I'm saying? You want an Escalade, you got to go to them for it. You want clothes, you got to go to them for it. You want an education, you got to go to them for it. You want a driver's license, a birth certificate. Man, even when you die, you got to go get a death certificate to even be declared dead. You see that? He said, in one of all things, read.
And
he, that same enemy,
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
look, did they put yokes of iron on our neck? Yeah, them same people that own everything, they put yokes of iron on our neck. You know what I'm saying? Watch this, read.
Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
He said, until he has destroyed you. Now, we don't have chains on our neck no more, but are we destroyed as a people? Have we been destroyed? Yes, mentally. We don't even know who we are. We don't know where we come from. We don't even have our own names. My name used to be the man that owned my people in slavery.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? What's your last name? Huh? Martinez. That's a Spaniard name, right? That comes from the people that conquered your people.
Right.
That's where that comes from. Slavery. You see that? Look at this right here. This thing right here is called the Decalogue Stone. And it's located in Los Lunas, New Mexico. And what's written on it is the 10 Commandments. And guess what? It dates back to 500 BC. If you ever go to New Mexico, the Albuquerque area, you can go see this stone right now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, what's written on it is the 10 Commandments, and it date back to 500 BC, way before Columbus got here. And guess what? It's written in Paleo Hebrew. So that tells you that the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans or Hispanics that was in this land, what language did they speak? Hebrew.
Right.
What language was the Bible originally written in? Hebrew.
Right.
You see that? But watch this. Back to it. 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He says the Lord gonna bring y'all into Egypt again. Now remember when we first started, they had already left Egypt, walked through the Red Sea. And what did we say they was doing back in Egypt? They were slaves. So now they on the other side, and Moses telling the people, the Lord gonna bring y'all back into Egypt again. What you think the first thing went in their mind? We gonna go back into what? Slavery. Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage, because during biblical times that land was called Mizraim, or the land of Ham. You see what I'm saying? So Moses said the Lord gonna bring y'all into Egypt or slavery again. How?
With ships.
Tell me something. How did the black man get to America?
I think he was here.
Some of us were. Some of us were. But in 1619, how did the rest of us get here? Huh?
Some got here, yeah.
Slave ships. Guess what? When they was bringing them from Africa to here, what happened before that? During the Christopher Columbus era. How did the so-called Hispanics, the Native Americans, all them, how did they get back to Spain and all over Europe? Slave ships. Christopher Columbus came here and he took back slaves.
That's right.
So the same thing happened on both sides. You can't miss it. You see what I'm saying? So he said the Lord gonna bring you into slavery again with ships. He told the Israelites this. Listen what else he said.
By the way, wherever I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
He said you ain't gonna see that Egypt no more again. You're going to a new Egypt, a new slavery, a new bondage on ships. And guess what else he said? Watch, read.
And there,
when y'all get off them slave ships over there, what's going to happen?
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Tell me something. When they took our people off them slave ships, what was the first thing they did? Did they put them on auction blocks? Was slaves being sold? Look right here. Here's a bill of sale. Where is that? It's on the other one. Huh? Yeah, it's one of them down here. But anyway, I have a poster. If you want to come look at it, there's a bill of sale on here that say, oh, here it is right here. Look, it says to be sold a cargo, 94 prime healthy Negroes. You see that? That's our history. And guess what? The same thing happened to the so-called Hispanics as well. So yes, he said, there you shall be sold
Unto your enemies.
Who was we sold to? Who did they sell us to? Watch this, read.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women. And what?
And no man shall buy you.
And nobody's gonna buy you. The word buy means to save or redeem. Because remember, back in slavery times, you used to be able to buy your freedom. You know what I'm saying? But here, he's telling them nobody's gonna be able to buy you or save you. So now I'm gonna ask you a question. We just said all this stuff these curses was gonna happen to the Israelites. That's what Moses said. Everything that we just read, who did that happen to in history? Okay, the black and Hispanics, right? So now if Moses said it was going to happen to the Israelites and it happened to us, then who must we really be? We are the Israelites. That's who you are in the Bible. You're an Israelite.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation